May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Namaste, sir.
Pankaj Yadav, sit down. Pankaj, you have been working with computer IT industry.
Yes, sir.
What precisely are you doing at the moment?
Sir, I'm a lead senior software engineer at Goldcast. My role mostly include designing cutting-edge system as well as training junior people in the company.
Let's start with something general. How's India's IT industry doing these days?
Sir, India's IT industry is growing phenomenally. India have around $225 billion surplus, trade surplus in invisibles, sir.
In?
Invisibles.
Okay. Services export, you mean?
Yes.
But that doesn't answer the IT related exports.
So most of them are from IT contributes one of the highest export in terms of services.
It does. Do you have precise figures?
No, sir, I'm not aware about.
What has been the growth of IT industries post COVID?
Sir, in terms of percentage, I don't know, but post COVID, most of the people thought that the next century will only be IT century, and there were a lot of startups that opened during that point of the time. But now I think, sir, market is correcting itself, and there are other physical enterprise are opening up. So there is a slump at this moment in IT industry.
Just to put it in perspective, the only industry that saw growth during COVID was IT industry.
Yes, sir.
Right? Recruitment and work sort of accelerated to cater to work from home.
Yes, sir.
Post COVID, counterintuitively, the industry started downsizing. And now it's growing all over again, but at a tepid rate.
Yes.
Now, do you know how many people are working in IT?
Sir, around 6 lakh.
It's around 6 million.
Maybe, sir, sorry about that. Maybe I'm not aware about the unit. I forgot.
What is the contribution of IT sector to GDP of India?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
It's around 7%. And what is the workforce percentage?
Sir, it is agriculture mostly contribute.
What is the percentage of workers deployed, workforce deployed in IT sector as compared to the entire workforce of India?
So IT sector, sometimes it is really the data varies, and sometimes people consider BPO as a part of IT, and based on that, sir, there are some reports that put various numbers. So according to me, sir, it would be around 10% or less.
Well, it's 1% of 5 million out of 500 million.
Yes, sir.
Workforce is 1%. So 1% people in India work for IT sector, and they contribute 7% to the GDP. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
the short point. All right. Now, you've taken mathematics.
Yes, sir.
What can you tell me about Indian quantum mission?
So Indian quantum mission will launch to build infrastructure for quantum technology and build quantum capability in terms of computing, and to achieve 1000 qubits as a quantum computing. Second, we want to demonstrate quantum communication technology around 2000 kilometers. And sir, we are also focusing on sensing and as well as quantum material in that domain, sir.
There have been various news items, including in the last week,
Yes, sir.
about National Quantum Mission.
Yes, sir.
What is the outlay of this mission?
Capital outlay. It is around, sir, 6,000 crore approximately.
You were right, it's 6,009 crores. What you said about its targets needs to be better detailed. So kindly go through it. Thank you. Please, sir.
Okay, Pankaj. Can you speak a bit loudly?
Yes.
Okay. You are from Alwar, Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
So, what is Alwar famous for?
Alwar is famous for manufacturing industries. Also, there is a dish known as Kalakan. Alwar is really famous for.
Kalakat or milk cake?
The same, I think the same thing. Milk cake is also known as Kalakan.
Okay.
So it's a local name,
Yeah.
mostly. And sir, it is also famous for forts and Nimrana Fort, especially.
And wildlife?
Wildlife Sariska
Okay,
Tiger Reserve.
fine. And you are earning so well. Monthly you are earning how much? 4 lakhs plus.
More than 4, yes, sir.
So what will you do here? You will retire by even the topmost bureaucrat
Yes, sir.
doesn't get that much. So 30 years, 35 years, you'll rise so much.
Yes, sir.
What is the point?
Sir, this is my point of view. So when I was earning 1 lakh, I had same lifestyle as, and I'm earning more than 4. It didn't change anything in me. Also, sir, the civil service also, I think, according to me, earn really well, and they are 1 to 2% of national income bracket. So I think, sir, money-wise, there is no problem.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
I hope your family agrees with you.
Yes, sir.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wife is on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then it's good. Now, tell me, you are from the IT background.
Yes.
What are the problems in regulating internet?
Sir, there are various problems. One could be cybersecurity issues, and the origin of the attack sometimes is transnational. So it is really hard to regulate internet. Second, sir, social media intermediaries are mostly owned by and are from US. So regulating them is also one of the big challenge.
Outside India, has any effort been made to make some code or law to regulate internet?
Sir, artificial intelligence I know, but internet I'm not aware about it.
You just find out. Some efforts are being made.
Yes.
EU and other things, find out. Okay. Is there a royalty on artificial intelligence?
Currently, that's a debate going on. Yes. Sir, royalty, mostly there are some copyright content that is available on social media as well as blog post. So what artificial intelligence mostly does, it scrap the data and use it as in a learning process, but they are not paying any royalty on that. So that's the debate about, and some people think putting royalty would hamper innovation, but some agree that it is like people have right to get paid for their work.
Is Bitcoin legal or illegal in India?
So Bitcoin is legal in India.
Legal?
Legal.
Legal.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
That how you say it is legal? Can you transact anything in Bit? Can you buy anything in Bitcoin?
I can't. I can in some place where Bitcoin is acceptable.
In India?
So there could be some vendor who may accept Bitcoin, but it's not legal tender, but it is legal. It is not legal tender, but it is legal. Like I can transfer money via Bitcoins. I can trade in them. In that case, it is legal, but it is not legal tender. I mean, somebody is not compelled to accept it.
Otherwise, if two persons decide, they can have a transaction in India in Bitcoin.
They can say.
Now you're a student of mathematics.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what use you will make of differentiation, integration, administration?
Sir, there is a variety of use case. I think math, first of all, inculcate rationality in people, and it tell us how to break big problem into smaller problem and solve it. For example, sir, crowd management technique mostly was used in Kumbh Mela. It used fluid dynamics continuity model. So, sir, I think it is really relevant in day-to-day administration. And sir, other government schemes that are going on, what is the objective of it, how we were able to meet it, and what is the percentage of it we should allocate. Everything is mathematics. And sir, in disaster management, there is a percentage of probability of a disaster happening. The probability also is really helpful in administration, so that like district magistrate can initiate some proceeding based on the probability
Okay,
of
my last
cyclone.
question is, is there a problem of child marriage still persisting in Rajasthan?
To some extent, yes, sir.
So what is lacking?
So I'm not able to comprehend.
Why we have not been able to stop this?
Sir, first major problem is cultural problem and festival known as Akhatis. in which mass gathering happen and people do marry their young one a lot. And also, sir, sometime administration also collude with them to make it happen. So that's the
Administration colludes?
administration. For example, if you report it to police, they won't come. So this kind of
They won't come.
Yes.
Okay, so inaction.
inaction. Yes, sir. So I think inaction is also a corruption.
Okay, thank you.
Pankaj. What does Pankaj mean?
Pankaj means a lotus.
Lotus is a symbol of a political party.
Yes, sir.
Which one?
Bharatiya Janata Party.
And flowers generally is a symbol of many political parties. Can you identify one?
So I'm not really political person. So
You need not be a political person to know. None of us are a political person. Even the question who is asking you is not a political person.
I only know, sir, 2-3 political parties. That's all.
Which are the others? Which are the other political parties that you know?
The BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party.
Congress party has its symbol as
Hand.
symbol hand. When was it? When hand came to be the symbol of Congress party? Earlier it was not.
Yes, sir.
Any idea?
No, sir. I am not.
What was the first symbol after independence of the Congress party?
Sir, I have to read about it.
You know, AAP.
Yes, sir.
When was it formed?
It was formed just after India Against Corruption movement.
When was it?
2013 mostly. Exact date I'm not aware, but around 2012, 2013.
Your exact date you don't know. Exact year.
Sir, exact year I'm not very sure when it was formed on paper, but the movement was going on around 2013.
Fundamental rights. For protection of fundamental rights. No, I am not saying so. For issue of the writs, Supreme Court has more powers or the High Courts have more?
So in terms of power, I would say Supreme Court will have more power because it will have
Would have or has?
it. In terms of power, it has
Issue of writs, specific to the issue of writs. Supreme Court has more power or High Courts have more power?
Sir, it actually depends. For example, Supreme Court can issue writ outside of the in entire country. However, High Court can only issue writ on only one particular state. However, sir, the writ jurisdiction, as we call, High Court has more wider jurisdiction than Supreme Court.
Like?
They can issue it on tax, etc., taxation, and other issues that are prevalent.
What will be the occasion for issue of writs on the taxes?
Sir, if let's say authority is actually demanding tax that may be beyond their jurisdiction, so they can issue that. But Supreme Court can only issue based on the violation of fundamental right.
What is that article that High Court derives its power from?
Article 226.
Fine. Likewise, discretionary powers, President has more or Governor has more?
So it's again debatable question.
Okay.
Sir.
There is no point in not having a debatable question.
Yes, sir.
Let's debate.
Yes, sir. I think, sir, mostly power and responsibilities mostly depend on the person and how they assume it, rather than it's being on the president or in the governor. But in terms of context,
In terms of constitutional provision,
governor have more power.
how?
Sir, they can recommend that president rule has to be applied in particular state or not. That kind.
So it can recommend. The President will have to take a decision. Who will have more power?
I would agree to that.
Then how come Governor has more powers?
In terms of constitutional provision, it is.
What are those? What are those?
One would be, sir, if a bill recommending to president, if the bill originated from state, we have to,
Governor recommends
to president.
President. President may agree, may not agree. Who has more powers?
President.
So, now you are trying to establish that Governor has more power. You have given two examples.
Yes, sir.
Both of the examples show that President has more power.
Yes, sir.
So,
Sir, in the constitution, it is explicitly written that governor will initiate, but obviously, as you suggested, the president, in terms of president, will obviously have more
but
power.
my question is whether Governor has certain discretionary powers. What are those?
Sir, the two I already told.
Achha, okay, fine. My last question would be, if Government of India decides that Pankaj Kumar shall have all military, political, diplomatic powers.
Yes, sir.
You demand it and you have it. Everything at your disposal.
Yes, sir.
And all our outstanding issues with Pakistan is to be resolved in 1 year.
Yes, sir.
All problems.
I think you are giving me too much power.
Yes.
And
You don't want?
sir, I think giving absolute power to anyone will,
For 1 year I am giving you.
but still, sir, it's too much power.
You don't want? You don't want to enjoy? But for the purpose of solving a problem. Would you like?
For responsibility wise, I can.
Yes. And you are tasked to resolve all outstanding issues with Pakistan. What first 3 steps would you take?
Sir, first, I'm from computer science background. I will use artificial intelligence and drone to identify infiltration. Second, what are the sources from Hawala transaction being happening? Artificial intelligence network can also identify those.
Third.
And sir, third would be, so can I think for a second? And so there are many sleeper cells that they are operating in the country.
By these 3 steps, all outstanding issues, including POK, will be resolved with Pakistan?
No, sir, POK, we have to deal with it separately.
Okay, fine, thank you.
You're from IIT and you have worked in IT industry.
Yes, sir.
Do you think globalization is a new phenomena that started only a few years back? Or has it existed since the ancient history time or even before that?
Sir, mostly the term globalization, mostly we associate post the World War II and era of globalization, so that dependency between a nation increase and there's less chance of conflict. However, but when we see Indus Valley civilization, people were actually interacting with other civilization at that point of the time. So globalization, sir, the phenomenon, the term got recently popularized, but it had historical impact too.
What is fundamentally very different about this phase of globalization that we are living in today? For example, the one that started with 1990s in India's case, we adopted liberalization, privatization and globalization. So in that context, what is it that is very different about this phase of globalization? What are 3 factors that you can name are different about this phase of globalization?
So first, I would term this as hyper-globalization. Earlier, people having like globalization interacting with each other. First, sir, now in this stage, they started mostly working on one specific problem rather than building a solution at all. For example, sir, if I want to build a Maruti car, I can make one bullet, and one steering can be made. However, earlier people were mostly focusing on building one product, the entire product in their country and then shipping it out. Second, sir, I think neo-colonialism, the concept, emerged in this time. Earlier, people were not influencing based on that. Third, sir, people-to-people contact varied significantly in this time. Earlier, people-to-people contact was very limited. And
Okay, do you think India has benefited from this globalization?
to some extent, we did, sir. We received some. Our economy is actually growing a lot because of globalization, but there are also threats that China poses on India's sovereignty, and tax sovereignty also nowadays is a big talk point. So
Why do you think Donald Trump is imposing tariffs? It is an anti-globalization move.
yes, sir.
So do you think we are going to enter into an era where we will see the end of this phase of globalization?
Sir, post-COVID, mostly people understood that you have to build our self-capabilities. So solely depending on global supply chain would be problem, and then they opted China plus one strategy. And so I think it would slightly slow a bit, but it won't end because, sir, mostly now workforce, capital, etc. are not very concentrated in one place, and that would be the reason, sir, globalization won't end, but it will slow down for a bit.
You are married.
Yes, sir.
You might have heard about the term live-in relationships.
Yes, sir.
Do you think live-in relationships are good or bad?
Sir, it's one's choice. Who are we to judge?
Okay. How is it different from marriage?
So marriage, we mostly get like in the laws, whatever the provisions, my spouse will get. However, in live-in relationship, they are not entitled for all these perks.
And how is the institution of marriage changing in the present times? And what are the factors that are responsible for the changes in the institution of marriage?
So it's changing. First, we have heterosexual relationship only, but now homosexual marriages, etc. So earlier only male used to work. Now dual It is changing because of industrialization, globalization, and the education system that we adopted. And because of that, this phenomenon is changing.
Okay, thank you.
Pankaj Yadav, your interview concludes now. Please wait outside, we'll call you. We'll talk about three verticals: appearance, delivery, and speech. Appearance wise, you are well dressed and seated, no need for any change. You are articulate, stable. At the same time, two or three small no's need being handled. Nothing serious, but required. You need higher energy level,
Yes.
too low, and a sense of enthusiasm, participativeness. Right now, it was like sort of speaking to the mountain. Echoes were coming back, but there was no sort of return.
Yes.
Hand movement were no, should not take place because they distract
Yes.
people from listening to you as it is you speaking so softly. Your views are balanced, but we'll have something to talk about in the delivery portion. Need to look more cheerful. Your demeanor makes you look even older than you are. So, if you can be slightly more effusive, sporty, it'll make you look better and more engaging. Avoidance of getting into sticky situations is also strongly recommended. Pankaj, you're not going to your Dholpur house for winning a debate.
Yes, sir.
You're going there to clinch a job.
Yes, sir.
So why don't we focus on that
Yes.
for 30 to 40 minutes only?
Yes.
After that, you can revert to your stickiness forever
Yes.
once you got the job. So all that change, these changes we recommend: being cheerful, being more engaging, higher level of energy, etc. Just for 40 minutes
Yes.
as a,
I do.
as a deception, if you will. Huh?
Yes.
So just reinvent your persona for appearance sake. If you want to go further, you may even like to change the necktie to make it look slightly fresher.
Yes.
Yeah, not dark and dotted. Something more sort of slightly more sporty, but not like Mr. Trump.
Obviously.
All right.
Yes.
Not flamboyant stuff, but something which complements your personality,
Yes.
which is a bit serious.
Yes.
So one would like to recommend that. Interjections. You are a soft spoken person, you are basically a defensive person in terms of verbal interaction. At the same time, you interject. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Those are no's because they disrupt the thought process of the panelist. Panelist has uttered a sentence, he is contemplating second sentence, and then you said, yes, sir. How does panelist feel? He feels irritated. So if you want to convey that you've understood the first sentence, just shake your head like you're doing now without saying, yes, sir, okay, sir. Those things are not needed. Delivery wise, you very good, you're knowledgeable on a lot of parts, but some parts, IT, industry, you came out a cropper.
I'll read about it.
So you need to work on that. You you should feel proud of the industry that is giving you so much, and you earned it hard way, going from Alward all the way to IIT Madras and then to IT, big time. So be proud of it. Get to know the various levers. What is the turnover of TCS? what are the challenges. All this should be, you know,
I'll read about
readily
it.
available.
Yes.
You have interview on 18th,
Yes.
4 days from now,
No.
18th is tomorrow.
Not day after tomorrow.
day after tomorrow. So you just need to spruce up. Okay, now, so gaps need to be filled. We have identified them throughout. Please fill them up. Better structuring. Questions may be on IT or maths. Maths is a dry subject. There's not much to question. Nobody is going to ask you to solve a quadratic equation or polynomial or this or that, unless there is some expert there, which is unlikely. So most of the questions would be IT industry, Rajasthan, and so on. Now, you need to also showcase that you're not just confined to IT sector or computer science. You're aware of their implications and their advantages as applied to administration, as applied to governance, as applied to other areas. So, whenever it's possible for you to expand the scope of your replies, do include the related non technical aspects that brings you closer to administration, to civil services, to governance, etc. Will you to showcase that you are not just a good, well paid computer scientist, but have also capacity for civil service. Okay? This would require you to have greater spread, greater depth, and more data. Long replies are not recommended. So you have tendency to speak, elaborate unnecessarily. Being pithy would be strongly urged. That way you can avoid being focused only on IT sector, go into other areas. And that will also allow the panelists to ask you questions on the subject they choose. And if you're able to satisfy them, your approval rating goes up, right? Um Overall, the packaging remains suboptimal. You need to elevate both in substance and in style. Now we come to speech. Speech wise, you are okay. The only big issue is lack of energy. So, volume is low, jerkiness creeps in, and to help that, simple and doable thing is to give yourself a short gap before you speak, 5 to 10 seconds, so that you can collect your thoughts, feel empowered to speak with higher level of sort of conviction.
Okay.
If you can do that, the the die is cast. Um Basically, I'll tell you something else. Look, the job is all about problem solving. You're doing that in computer science as well. In your current job, you paid well because you solve problems, glitches, etc., etc. Civil services does that all the time, but they have different set of rules to obey. Now, why are they lionized? Why are they paid so well? Because they're expected to come up with unorthodox solutions, out of box solutions, and innovative ideas which are practical. not some airy-fairy theoretical stuff. So if you are able to show them that you have capacity to come up with such solutions, they are looking for you. Okay?
Okay, sir.
That's the crux. You have done it in IT. You've been doing everything abnormal comes to you. Similarly, in civil service, they would expect you to solve problems. Public expects civil servants to solve problems. Government expects them to solve problems. And same rules apply to everyone, but some of them can solve problems by being innovative, and that's what they are looking for. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All told, good person, very good qualities. You must have done well in maths to be there. And now let's cap it through sort of focus on delivering, better packaging, and focus on innovation. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Sir, I have to ask one question.
Yeah.
How do I introduce, like, how do I inculcate energy in my talk? How do I do that?
All right. Stand up. Now sit with your lower back touching the back of the chair. Go further in.
No, now he has gone.
Do you feel more empowered?
Yes, sir.
That's the secret.
If I
Psychologically, when you were a small child, your parents would put their hand on your lower back to encourage you, to push you forward. Now, chair is doing exactly the same. Sit properly, and that will boost your energy level, that will boost your confidence.
if sir I speak louder, it will improve.
Yes, yes.
Other way around, too. If you sit well, your confidence level improves, you will automatically speak with greater confidence.
In between, you spoke louder. When I told you,
Yes, sir.
during my time and during Sir's time, you were speaking loudly. But towards the end, again, you came back to your original thing.
Okay.
So, what Sir has told that for 40 minutes, you boost your energy level. I'll say only three words: EOD, energy, which will be reflected in volume of voice.
Yes, sir.
Organize which not only technology but also policy, and make bullet points what you're going to speak. And thirdly, delivery. See, maths you have done, you are a very intelligent person. Day after tomorrow, you can do wonders if you just follow what we are saying. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.